Okay, this is my FX Dreamline 22, and I'm going to just go over the hammer spring. I do a lot of tuning on this, so to stop it from moving, I use not double-sided tape, but this is industrial tape, and this is amazing stuff. I can use it over and over. Well, doesn't help that I just put it on the cloth, but I'll just get a new piece. Anyways, I have a spacer in here. Huma now offers a replacement spring. Unfortunately, most of the things I've heard have not been great, not much of a big improvement. So I didn't order the spring. But I will go over the spacer that I use, and that's the only reason why I didn't use or decide to get that. Sorry, I gotta move my scope adjustment here, or phone adjustment, sorry. Okay, so right now you can see I am just about flush with the surface, maybe just raised a little bit. Your gun's gonna depend, and it's gonna be up to you to find where that is, where your settings are and where your power curve is setting up your gun, tuning it. Anyways, I'm just gonna take this off. I already know it's flush, and I'll just show you the spacer I use. It's literally, and I found it in one of my air gun junk drawers, I guess you could call. So I just carry many parts around. This is not the only gun I have a spacer in either. I think most of my other PCP rifles I also have a spacer that I use. One benefit, if you already know you're going to be shooting heavy stuff, or you know later on you're going to be shooting heavy stuff, this just initiates an earlier pressure on the cock and hammer. So if you're a sub 12, obviously this isn't going to work out for you too well or beneficial. But if you know you're going to be shooting slugs, you want to switch back to the 18 grains, which I am actually shooting right now, are the 18 grains JSB, because it was squirrel season. And okay, so you can already see there was one washer on here, and I think this was actually from a carburetor rebuild kit, Holly 850 double pumper. Not that it probably matters, but that's pretty much all it looks like. And this is the original. This is, I believe, well, I can't even tell which one's original, which one's not. And if you don't have one, and I could be wrong, then I added two spacers. But I'm pretty positive that I added one of these, and one of them was already inside. But overall, this is the spring. I mean, all right. When I get into something, I like get into stuff. So I mean, I have tons and tons of springs that I could try out to match this, but it doesn't look like I have anything. And to be honest, you're gonna have to put it on a scale. And what I like to do is push down 1/4 inch and measure that pressure, and do the same with a replacement spring, and just see what you get out of that 1/4 inch. Is it less pressure, more pressure? Another thing with going too far with these is you will have coil bind. So if you over adjust this with the spacers or without the spacers, and you go to cock it, these will all be together, and that will be your coil bind, and your gun will not latch. So you will not be able to cock your gun until you back it off. So there's many variances in this. Just going to go over a few of them as I have been. Right. So first of all, let's find out what both of these are, and for thickness. All right, let's see. They should be, I think. No. Okay, I'm sorry, thinking of my Hatson rifle. I had 90,000 shim on my Hatson. This is about 63 for that one. and this one is about 65. So get about 125,000 shim. You could do away with this, but I think I kind of like it better with 2 shims, a little more adjustment. And I was pushing 27 grain NSA slugs at about 930, which they did actually amazing. 200 yards I was doing under 2. Weather permitting, of course. It is the only 500 millimeter barrel, so I wasn't expecting miracles. But under 2 inches is pretty damn good for the 500 anyways. Okay, and the reason you need the hole in the middle, obviously, because the top goes in, and if you want to adjust it, you have to slide it through. So your spacer should be able to go through as well, which actually that one wasn't going through. But either way, oh, I wish I had a side light. Sorry, I'm just trying to do something here. I don't know if I can get it off. I was gonna take it off and show you, but alright, as far as the pellet probe there, sorry, I'm all the way over here. I actually misspoke. And this is a problem when you do have many guns. You need the hole in the middle. Well, it doesn't hurt to have it there, especially if it's on this end. So, anyways, but my Hatson, you have to go all the way through and go to an Allen screw and back that out. So that's why it's a necessity on the Hatson rifles. But it also doesn't hurt to have it a spacer with a hole in it on here as well. I would just take it off. You can mic it out and then go to your hardware store, whatever, junk drawer. If you're a gearhead like myself, got a lot of car parts. Like I said, I believe I got this out of a rebuild kit for an 850 double pumper, or it was my 750 double pumper, whatever. But most likely the parts are going to be pretty much the same. It may vary from a 2-barrel to a 4-barrel. Anyways, whatever. So just look around, get some measurements, try it out. Try it with only 1 spacer first. If you can reach your goal with 1, then leave it at that. As you increase the pressure, though, your cocking handle will get stiffer. That's with any PCP, obviously, unless it's electronic, day state, but we're not going to go into that. Anyways, so that's pretty much it right there. And this is my setup that I use. I love it. I don't need to change the spring, and I don't plan on it. So just those of you who just can't reach that peak and your amp regulator, also my amp regulator wouldn't go over 150 I believe. I know other people who are doing 165. So yes, people are saying I'm at my limits and this and that. So I did switch over to the Huma, and this friggin' gun came alive once I switched over to the regulator. If you know what you're doing, you don't have to go into your tube too much to adjust it, because you can get it pretty close if you're used to doing this and you know what you're looking for. If you're going to do a lot of experimenting, it's still not that big of a deal. I mean, you drain the air, you take the tube off, you pull it out, you adjust it, put it back together. So, whatever. I never had the luxury of external adjustment for a regulator, so I don't miss it. So, alright, anyways, I'm hoping that information here helps you guys out. Like I said, you'll hear other people, you don't need it or whatever, but my gun did, and well, that's what I used, and I have no issues with it. Oh, one other thing, and this is very important. That's right. Try to keep those See if I can get in the light here. All right, we'll zoom in here, hopefully. Okay, you see how it's just below the cap? You kind of need it that way, because that spring to guide on there has to just sit right in there. If you don't, and I did have a spacer level with the top, it actually came off of that and my adjustment and pressure was different, so it's just best to leave a little room there so that spring can just sit right in there. Yeah, see, it would be better if this fit over it, but it does not, so but as long as it sits in the cap, I can just go, and I find this to be the easier way as well. Kind of stand it straight up and down and get it started. Not really difficult, and it only takes a couple seconds. I don't want to hear any whining. Gotta lift it up, or just find one that has a little bigger with the hole, and then it'll get self-guided in. All right, so I already know I was flush. I was shooting 915 with the JSB 18, or sorry, 915 or 910. I forgot. I think I bumped it down. Well, I'll put it over the cranny again later. I just take my tape. You know what? I'm going to reuse this tape. This is industrial stuff, and trust me, it does not move. And that stuff is called, just in case you know anybody in the industry, zip system stretch tape. This stuff is friggin' amazing. Literally, this held a window. The motor broke, and it held the window up in place for, what, 2 years? Yeah, so pretty strong stuff. Okay, all right, so, all right, I lied. I'm going to replace this piece of tape. But either way, I hope that helps anybody out. And, I mean, this is old news with the Dreamline, but new people are starting with this. They're just experimenting. They're learning like me and you, so I'm just trying to help out here. And yes, it's nice to ask on forums, and it's nice to ask on Facebook sites, but sometimes it gets over asked, and someone who's new to this never asked the question, never looked for the question. So we all got to be considerate and think of other people, and even I've made that mistake and jumped down someone's throat when I didn't need to. Just because it's obvious to me and you doesn't mean it's obvious to everyone. So just try to remember that, and this is me telling myself as well. Okay, Air Gunner's Edge out. Hope this helps anyone out, and good shooting.